Well, the report out today shows the disconnect in pay persists. Execs from banks that receive bailout money made more than their peers at other S&P 500 companies. Joining us now on the phone is one of the foremost authorities on executive compensation. He has researched and written on the topic for about 16 years. Paul Hodgson, Senior Research Associate for the Executive Compensation at the Corporate Library in Portland, Maine, is joining us now on the phone. Paul, so glad you could join us this morning. Earlier we were chatting, and you said, look, it's really not a surprise that even CEOs got paid more, I should say, even CEOs that took government money, whose companies took government money, making more than the average S&P 500 company CEO is not really a shock to you.
That's right. There's been a pay gap between regular CEOs and financial services CEOs for quite some time now.
By about what percentage, if you don't mind?
Actually, by pretty considerable percentages sometimes, depending on who else is in the survey, but, up to 60% more than, average CEOs in other industries. So is it going to be sort of not so much of a surprise to you if even coming out of this recession, if that remains the case? Well, they've been returning to their evil ways pretty quickly, actually, given the existence of public money in their funds. And, one of the things that the report talks about is that earlier this year, many of the companies were granting their executives large grants of stock options at very low prices when the prices were depressed because of the economic crisis. And when you come out of the economic crisis, those stock options will gain enormous amounts of money and be extremely profitable. But if the government is a major shareholder, I mean, in Citigroup's case, it's a 70% shareholder, the government, in theory, has the right to weigh in, right? That's right, and that's why they've appointed the PAYSAR in order to look into the compensation policies at those companies where they have their largest investment. What do you think about what we've heard from the French president, Nicolas Sarkozy, of course, ahead of the G20, and many people sort of reacting, saying it's setting off alarm bells on both sides of the Atlantic, the fact that, he's really trying to tie banker pay to performance? Well, the proposals that he's put forward are quite similar to those put forward a few weeks earlier by the British government. To basically, it's not so much tying banks' bonuses closer to performance, but at least making the bankers wait for those bonuses until the performance is absolutely assured. And that was the problem before. The bonuses were paid out, and the credit default swaps that led to the economic downfall were hidden somewhere in the accounting. Do you think it's likely that at the G20 that other leaders, including President Obama, hear what Sarkozy has to say and the plan he's proposed? Well, I think that the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, has already indicated that she agrees with President Sarkozy. I think the British government will be in agreement with him, potentially the Swiss government as well. Although I'm not sure that's a member of G20, but there are other countries out there that are definitely in sync with the way that France is thinking about this. Well, we do thank you very much, Paul, for joining us this morning. We have Paul Hodgson there from the Corporate Library.